All right. So there is a fear of the IBM, right? The intelligent black man. Why? Why? Why all of a sudden does a productive, educated black man change the status quo? Well, honestly, the fear is that, yo, if you have a productive black dude, right, who understands how the world works, what's going to happen? He's going to do well, and he's going to realize that he wants to pass on everything that he's learned, all the money that he's built up, right? He wants to pass that on. So if you see a strong, educated type of black man, you can almost guarantee there are going to be other men and women who think like him, whether they are his own children or people he mentors. That's the beauty about black men. I don't care what anybody says. If you have a productive black man, he will be more than willing, right, if you come at him correctly, to share what he has learned and to help you out. That's one thing I can say that we have. That brotherhood, right? I never feel out of place in the realm of productive black men simply because it's all love. Everybody's there to help each other, right? So you can almost guarantee, right? You see one professional black man, educated, well-to-do black man, you can almost bet that there's going to be at least 2 or 3 black men and women who are going to do well simply because he opened up his mouth and passed on his wealth, especially if they're his own children, right? So of course that will change the status quo. But as far as the professional, educated, well-to-do black woman, it really doesn't. The probability of her having a family is low compared to other women, right? Simply because, of all the other cultural and social issues that are going on. I don't want to get into that, but the probability is extremely low. So there is no fear. By herself is no fear. Okay, what's going on? She's educated, okay, but what is she going to do? Right? She's not going to get married, not have any kids, or if anything, desire to marry a white man and desire to assimilate into white America and live a happy, productive life, not worrying about anybody else but herself. I see it all the time. It is what it is. We've all talked about how no one puts pressure on professional black women to change the community. All they have to do is show up with a degree and everybody's happy. But as far as the black man, he's expected to give back. So because of this, there really isn't any fear of the educated black woman. I mean, tell me, why should there be? Why should there be, right? People are not stupid. At the end of the day, they know, yo, if I can put a black woman in power, I mean, nothing's really going to happen. Nothing's really going to change. I mean, she'll be the exceptional black woman, but if you sit down and talk to her, right, 9 times out of 10, she's probably going to want to assimilate into white culture. I've already talked about it. Give me a upper middle class black woman, I already know she wants to be with white men, or that's what she desires to be. 'Cause that's where I come from. That's what I grew up with. That's how they think. That's how they act. They don't care about changing the community because they know they don't have to. But let a black dude do well, all of a sudden the burden of the black community is on him, and it's a burden that I humbly accept. But at the end of the day, I have to talk about it. I remember when I started my college experience in terms of undergrad, we had a significant amount of blacks, but nothing was going on. The whole idea of black life in terms of, student support organizations and different social groups, none of that stuff was around. They were all set up, but nothing was happening. And the majority of people running it were black women, and nothing was really happening. No one was being inspired, right? Everything was everything. The status quo of, the black being unproductive and nothing going on, that still remained. But the second the new movement came in, and you had black men who were, for whatever reason, stepping up, the campus just changed, literally overnight. It just changed overnight, to the point where if you are in Southern California, I'm almost giving you a dead giveaway in terms of where I went to school. That's how bad this campus changed in terms of the resurgence of black frats and sororities, other groups doing well. It completely changed. Why? Seeing black men in power, even though the majority were black women, changed up the status quo for everybody. Everybody changed. Why? Because we were going against the grain. There was a momentum. Why? Because people aren't used to seeing black men in power. All of a sudden, the campus newspaper was at all our events. People wanted to know what was going on. All of a sudden, non-black organizations wanted to partner up with us and, do new creative things. All this stuff happened simply because the productive black man changed the status quo. Right? He made other people better. That's why there's a fear. That's why there's this fear overall, and this will show up in terms of how whites act consciously and unconsciously. Right? That's the whole problem. People don't understand that people do stuff deliberately, and people do stuff without even knowing they're doing it, because everybody wants to maintain the status quo. And people aren't as conscious as the black man is, the ones that are doing well, because we understand that with the way things are, everybody can do well. Everybody can eat except the black man. The black women can eat. Everybody can eat. So for us, we have to be a whole different type of animal. We think differently, right? And the people in power know we think differently, so they will do everything in their power to make sure that we are not doing well. So of course they're going to pump out different stuff with the media. They're going to make sure certain communities don't get funded. They're going to make sure that they promote images that of the black male being the productive father, right, is something that he shouldn't be. Because they don't want that. They don't want black people thinking like productive black men, because it destroys the status quo. So I know I've went too long on this one. Sorry about that. Tell me how you feel. Take it easy. God bless.